In this video, we're going to be talking about how to change the tempo of a song. Like you saw in the overview video, up at the top left of Ableton, you'll see the current tempo. We're actually not going to be modifying this box up here to change the tempo. Instead, we modify the tempo within the tempo track. Basically, the tempo track is the master tempo, and it's telling Ableton at what tempo to play back. So we're going to use the warp function again, just like we did when we were changing the key of the song. The only difference is this time we need all of the tracks to be warped, not just the melodic and harmonic tracks. We also need the rhythmic tracks to be warped. That way they change tempo as well. So we already have all of our tracks that have harmonic content warped. So now we just need to select all of our percussion tracks. So we need drums, we need percussion, and then we need loop. So again, we just go down to the bottom, right where we see warp. We just click that on and make sure again that it's on complex or complex pro mode. All right, now we're ready to change the tempo. What we do is we go up to the tempo track, we click on that, and then down here in the same menu, we're going to alter this box that says seg BPM. So we're using the song Fresh Wind as an example again. Let's say we wanted the song to be a little bit faster. So let's say we want to move the tempo up from 63 BPM up to 65 BPM. The way we do that is just by clicking on this box and then typing in our desired tempo, which is 65, press enter. And then now the only other thing we have to do is we have to toggle this button that says leader off and then back on. So let's toggle it off and then toggle it back on. And when you do that, up at the very top of Ableton, you'll see that the tempo now reads at 65. So if we play it back,
1, 2,
that's now at 65. Let me give you one more example. I'm going to, just to show you what it'll sound like if you change the tempo, I'm going to do a more drastic example just so you can hear it working. So let's go ahead and we would obviously never do this, but I'm going to go ahead and change this tempo to 120 just so you can really hear the effect. So I entered 120, pressed enter. Now I toggle leader off and back on. And then now I can play the song and you'll hear it go quick.
1, 2, intro, 2, 3, 4.
Sounds pretty ridiculous for Fresh Wind, but just an example. So let me go ahead and change this back down to the original tempo. One practical example of when you might use this is maybe you get to the end of a song, but you want the loop and click at the end of that song to be a little bit slower. Maybe the tempo feels great when you're playing full band, but maybe when you try to do a down chorus or some ad-libs at the end, it just feels like it's a little bit too fast. So I'm gonna zoom in down here where I have this looping click pulled up. And then all we have to do to change the tempo of just the looping click is we need to expand the tempo track. We need to click right where this loop 1 begins. And then we need to split this track. And the shortcut to split the track is Command E. So that splits the track. Now we need to consolidate this new tempo track clip to be its own clip. We do that by pressing Command J. And basically that just separates it from the original tempo track. Otherwise, even if you split it, if you change the tempo of this second tempo track clip, it's going to change the tempo of the whole song. So that's why you need to consolidate it to be its own clip with Command J. So now we're ready to do exactly what we have done before. We're ready to come back down here to the seg BPM and change the tempo. So let's say we want it to slow down to about 60 BPM at the end of the song for the looping click. Just type in 60, press enter, toggle the leader button off, and then back on. And then we're ready to go. Our looping click will now slow down to 60 beats per minute.